Have you ever left a conversation replaying every word in your head, cringing at a joke that didn't land, wondering what they really thought of you? Have you ever scrolled through social media, seen a highlight reel of someone else's confidence, and felt a small, silent ache, thinking, why can't I just be that secure? Why does their opinion feel like a verdict on my worth? This ache, this constant background hum of evaluation, is the weight of the approval-seeking mind. It's the invisible cage we build around our true selves, bar by bar, crafted from every "what will they think?" Today, we're not just talking about confidence. We're going on a journey to understand the prison of external validation, and more importantly, how to find the key. This is about the most liberating power you will ever discover, the radical, unshakable freedom of being yourself.
Let me tell you about Maya. Not an artist this time, but a brilliant young professional. At work, she was a chameleon. In meetings with stern executives, her voice was measured, her ideas cautious. With her creative team, she was more open, but still held back her most innovative concepts, fearing they'd seem too out there. Her social media was a curated museum of acceptable happiness. The real Maya, the one who loved obscure folk music, wanted to travel alone, and had a laugh that was embarrassingly loud, was locked away. She was so good at reading a room and becoming what it wanted that one day she looked in the mirror and asked the terrifying question, if I stopped performing, who would even be left? Her pursuit of approval hadn't won her universal love. It had made her a stranger to herself.
This story echoes in the life of one of the most iconic artists of the 20th century, Frida Kahlo. In an era that celebrated grandiose murals and political statements, Frida painted small, intensely personal canvases. She painted her pain, her miscarriages, her surreal visions, her unibrow and facial hair, subjects the art world deemed too feminine, too strange, too ugly. Critics dismissed her work. She was often in the shadow of her famous husband, Diego Rivera. But Frida made a conscious, defiant choice. She would paint her own reality, not the one others demanded. She turned her personal suffering and unique identity into her ultimate strength. She didn't seek approval. She commanded attention by being uncompromisingly herself. Her legacy teaches us that authenticity, not accommodation, is what resonates through history.
So, where does this need for approval come from? It's not a personal flaw. It's a primal wiring. For our ancestors, banishment from the tribe meant almost certain death. Being liked and accepted was a survival mechanism. Your brain's ancient alarm system still confuses social disapproval with existential threat. When you sense criticism, your amygdala screams, danger, rejection, change behavior to fit in. But in the modern world, this wiring is misfiring. We're trying to survive in a digital tribe of billions, where seeking universal approval is a guaranteed path to exhaustion and emptiness. The first step to freedom is thanking this anxious part of your brain for trying to protect you, and then gently informing it the tribe's opinion is no longer a matter of life and death. My authenticity is. The practical journey begins with a simple but profound audit. Whose approval are you really seeking? Make a list. Is it your emotionally distant parent, a critical former teacher, the popular kids from high school, the elusive everyone? Now hold that list and ask, do these people live with my choices? Do they lie in my bed with my regrets and dreams? Have they earned the right to be the director of my life's movie? You'll find that most voices in your head are ghosts of the past or projections of your own insecurity. You are handing the steering wheel of your life to passengers, most of whom aren't even in the car anymore.
Now, we build your authenticity muscle. This doesn't mean making a huge disruptive declaration tomorrow. It starts with micro acts of courage.
It's wearing the outfit you love but think is too much. It's stating a harmless but genuine opinion in a conversation instead of just nodding along. It's saying no to an invitation without offering a convoluted excuse. It's posting a piece of creative work online with the caption, "I made this. I hope you like it, but I love it." Each small act is a brick removed from the wall of your cage. The goal isn't to become indifferent to others, but to make your own inner compass the primary navigator.
A powerful mindset shift is to move from being an actor on a stage to a gardener in your own plot. The actor performs for an audience, changes costumes for every scene, and lives for the applause. Their worth is external. The gardener, however, tends to their own soil. They focus on planting the right seeds, their values, pulling weeds, negative self-talk, and providing sunlight, self-care. They cannot control the weather, external opinions, but they can focus on nurturing growth. Some will admire your garden, some will prefer roses over your sunflowers, and some won't even look. The gardener finds profound peace in the act of tending itself, not in the crowd's reaction. I want you to practice a visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the most authentic, fearless version of yourself. How do they stand? What do they say? How do they spend their time? Now, imagine that version of you is surrounded by a brilliant, shimmering light, a personal force field. When someone's criticism or judgment comes toward you, see it as a small, dark pebble. Watch as it hits your light and simply dissolves without ever touching the real you. This light is your self-worth, generated from within. The more you feed it with self-trust and authentic action, the brighter and more impenetrable it becomes. Others' words only have the power you grant them.
Finally, understand that liberation is a daily practice, not a one-time event. Some days the cage will feel wide open. Other days you'll sense the old bars closing in. That's okay. When you feel the old urge to seek approval arise, don't fight it with shame. Pause. Place a hand on your heart. Ask, what is the kindest, most true thing I can do for myself in this moment? Often, the answer is simply to breathe and remember that you belong to yourself first. Your worth is not a democracy. It does not go up for a vote with every person you meet. In conclusion, the journey from approval seeker to self-liberated is the most important pilgrimage you will ever undertake. It's the path from the crowded, noisy theater where you're playing an exhausted bit part to the quiet, sunlit studio where you are the artist of your own life. Remember Maya. She started by playing her folk music in her apartment, just for herself. Then for one friend. The world didn't end. Her cage, built over a lifetime, began to unlock. Your true self isn't lost. It's just been waiting patiently beneath the costumes and scripts for you to stop performing, take a deep, authentic breath, and finally come home.